Picture this. It is a Friday evening. You lift a glass, take the first sip, and a warm, easy feeling spreads through your chest. Sitting there, it feels like nothing is happening yet. But before that first mouthful even reaches your stomach, your body has already started a chain reaction that will run all the way through the night and into tomorrow morning. You won't feel most of it happening, but the first sip immediately activates a massive, unseen biological assembly line. This animated diagram shows exactly why alcohol is so efficient at getting into your system. Alcohol is a tiny, simple molecule that dissolves perfectly in water. Because your body is mostly water, that tiny molecule easily slips right through the gaps of your dense biological barriers, riding your bloodstream straight to your organs. The severity of the entire night depends entirely on the first doorway it passes through, your stomach. When you drink on an empty stomach, there is nothing in the way. The alcohol moves straight into the small intestine, which has a massive surface area built to soak things up fast. The alcohol floods your system almost instantly. If you eat a real meal first, especially something heavy in fat and protein, you force the alcohol to linger in the stomach. Instead of a sudden flood into the small intestine, the food traps the alcohol, releasing it into your bloodstream in a slow, gentle trickle. Same drink, same person, but a completely different night. Before the brain or the liver even gets involved, the entire timeline of your evening has already been dictated by what was sitting on your dinner plate. Now we meet the organ responsible for cleaning all of this up. Your liver is the only organ equipped to break alcohol down, but it operates with a strict, unbending speed limit. As a rule, it can only handle about 1 standard drink per hour. Whatever you pour in faster than that simply has to wait in line. Inside the liver, alcohol doesn't just vanish. This animated assembly line shows what actually happens. First, an enzyme breaks the alcohol down into a harsh, jagged chemical called acetaldehyde. Acetaldehyde is actually far more toxic than the alcohol itself. Look at how the line begins to overflow. When you pour drinks in faster than the liver can work, this toxic acetaldehyde piles up and leaks into the bloodstream. That exact chemical pileup is the culprit behind your flushed face, the queasy stomach, and the feeling of growing rougher as the night goes on. Your body knows this chemical is dangerous, so a second enzyme rushes in further down the line. Watch as this slower mechanical arm takes the toxic acetaldehyde and smooths it out into a harmless substance called acetate, which your body can easily clear away. But that second arm is slow. When people say they feel the second and third drink hitting them much harder, it is a literal mathematical backlog. A highly toxic chemical is simply overwhelming their liver's maximum processing speed. While the liver struggles to catch up, the unprocessed alcohol keeps circulating through your blood and breaches your brain. This is where a delicate chemical balance gets violently disrupted. This seesaw mechanism represents your brain's operating state. Alcohol immediately slams down on one side by boosting a chemical called GABA. GABA is your brain's calming brake. When this weight drops, you feel physically relaxed. You get talkative, and eventually your speech starts to slur. But at the exact same time, alcohol blocks your brain's excitatory gas pedal, a chemical called glutamate. As the glutamate side is wrapped in chains and suppressed, your whole brain slows down. Push this far enough, and your brain entirely stops recording new memories. That is a blackout. You are still awake and talking, but the tape isn't rolling. The front of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, is incredibly sensitive to this slowdown. That region holds your impulse control and weighs consequences. As it gets dialed down, the careful part of you steps back, making decisions that usually give you pause, like sending a highly regrettable text message at midnight, suddenly feel completely reasonable. Then there is the illusion of the alcohol blanket. You feel a warm, rosy glow because alcohol widens the blood vessels near your skin, rushing warm blood to the surface. But heat at the surface means heat leaving your body. Even as your cheeks feel hot, your core body temperature is dangerously dropping. The warm social magic of the evening and the terrible decision-making are driven by the exact same molecule. It is simply tipping the chemical scales in the region of your brain designed to make you hesitate. As midnight approaches, the physical symptoms start to stack up, beginning with those sudden, repeated trips to the bathroom. Normally, your body holds on to water using a hormone called vasopressin. Think of it as a tap that tells your kidneys to retain fluid. Look at this biological tap in our diagram. Alcohol cranks that tap completely shut. Without vasopressin, your kidneys stop retaining water and forcefully fluid out instead. As the system flushes, it takes critical electrolytes with it. See how the reservoir runs bone dry, sweeping away the sparkling sodium and potassium your nerves and muscles rely on? This specific loss sets up the throbbing headache and muscle cramps waiting for you tomorrow. Then comes the craving. At 1 a.m., you suddenly want the heaviest, greasiest food you can find. Normally, between meals, your liver releases stored sugar to keep your blood sugar level stable. But the liver cannot do two demanding tasks at once, and clearing alcohol takes priority. Because the liver stops releasing sugar, your blood sugar plummets. That drop translates directly into feeling wobbly, lightheaded, and intensely hungry. Your body starts demanding high-calorie, greasy food because it is genuinely running out of accessible fuel. These midnight cravings and constant bathroom trips are the direct physical outcome of your kidneys draining your reserves while your liver abandons its primary day job. Finally, you get into bed, believing the alcohol will at least help you sleep. The early hours do feel heavy and deep, but that is a chemical illusion. Alcohol does not give you sleep. It gives you a sleep loan, and the second half of the night is when it collects. This biological climax at 3 a.m. happens as your liver finally finishes clearing the alcohol from your blood. The artificial GABA break that kept you relaxed all night suddenly vanishes. Without the break, the excitatory glutamate gas that was suppressed comes roaring back, spiking straight into the red. This sudden chemical rebound is what jolts you awake in the dark. Your heart races, your mind spins, and your brain completely bypasses the restorative REM stage of sleep. You spend 8 hours unconscious in bed, but you get almost zero actual rest. When the sun finally comes up, the consequences arrive all at once. The dry mouth, the throbbing head, the profound exhaustion, and the nausea. These are the combined sums of the night's chemical imbalances, dehydration, and electrolyte drain. That morning after misery is the biological receipt for the evening, a predictable story told by your liver, brain, kidneys, and heart about exactly what they endured while you slept. The next time you lift a glass, picture that quiet assembly line in your liver, working patiently, one drink at a time. If you want to see more of the body's hidden machinery mapped out like this, consider subscribing. A quick like helps more people find this, and sharing it with a curious friend is the best way to support the channel. Take care of yourself, stay curious, and we will see you in the next one.